Dominican Republic rains force 30,000 to evacuate. 3 reported dead. Santo Domingo, April 13th, Reuters. Some 30,000 people have evacuated their homes in the Dominican Republic over recent days due to torrential rains from weather systems that have hovered over the Caribbean nation, hurling rain onto much of its northern region for more than a month. Local media reported 3 people had died, including a 7-year-old girl who tried to cross a river, a 19-year-old man who tried to cross on horseback, and an infant girl in the capital, where the wall of her house collapsed due to the rains. The government's priority at this time is to save lives, protect property, and preserve infrastructure. President Luis Abinader's office said in a statement on Monday, urging people to stay away from vulnerable areas. Abinader declared a national emergency in 5 provinces as well as in the capital. A day earlier, the country's Emergency Operations Center, COE, Director Juan Manuel Mendez told a press conference 30,500 people had been evacuated. 14 communities were left isolated. 6,100 homes were flooded and highways and bridges were damaged. The rains will continue, Meteorological Institute Chief Gloria Ceballos said on Monday, noting these should ease slightly before intensifying again on the weekend. We have a frontal system that remains stationary in the northeast, she said. The soil is already saturated. We have had practically 45 days of it raining every day in some parts of the territory. In the nearby U.S. territory of Puerto Rico, authorities warned that heavy rain and thunderstorms could trigger urban flooding later on Monday. The capital city of the Dominican Republic is currently facing a catastrophic humanitarian and environmental crisis. A series of relentless thunderstorms and a stationary frontal system have triggered what President Luis Abinader has described as the largest rainfall event in history, leaving the urban landscape of Santo Domingo submerged and its residents in a state of high alert. The extreme weather, which escalated significantly on Monday, April 13, 2026, has seen rainfall totals exceeding 12 inches, 30 centimeters, in less than 24 hours. The sheer volume of water has overwhelmed the city's drainage infrastructure, turning major avenues into raging brown rivers and isolating entire neighborhoods. Location: Santo Domingo and surrounding municipalities, Santo Domingo Oeste, Los Alcarrizos. Casualties: tragically, a 2-year-old child died in Santo Domingo Oeste after a wall collapsed due to soil saturation. Displacements: over 30,000 people have been evacuated nationwide, with a significant majority originating from the capital. Infrastructure damage: more than 6,000 homes have been flooded, and over 40 national aqueducts are currently out of service. Impacted areas and humanitarian situation: the flooding has hit the most vulnerable sectors the hardest. In Maniguayabo and Los Alcarrizos, the Ozama and Isabella rivers rose with such speed that residents had no time to salvage their belongings. Sector impact reported Maniguayabo streets completely submerged, hundreds of vehicles tossed by currents. Santo Domingo Oeste fatal wall collapse. Severe structural damage to modest homes, LA Barquita entire blocks buried under 2 meters of mud and contaminated water. San Jose de Ocoa over 20 communities isolated after the Ocoa River overflowed. The Emergency Operations Center, COE, has maintained a red alert for the capital. Rescue teams, including over 550 personnel and 150 pieces of heavy machinery, are working around the clock to reach those trapped in their homes or stranded in vehicles. Meteorological data and forecast: according to the National Meteorological Institute, the saturated soil from 45 days of prior rain exacerbated the impact of the current storm. Current conditions: as of April 14, 2026, temperature 22 degrees Celsius, feels like 25 degrees Celsius. Humidity 86%. Short-term outlook: while Tuesday shows a brief respite with sunny conditions and a high of 29 degrees Celsius, the threat is far from over. Scattered thunderstorms are forecast to return by Thursday, April 16th, with precipitation chances rising back to 65%. Official response and safety measures: President Luis Abinader has declared a state of emergency in the capital and 5 other provinces. The government has ordered all non-essential employees to work remotely to minimize traffic and allow emergency crews unhindered access to flood zones. There is no storm drainage system that can withstand this anywhere in the world, stated President Abinader during a press conference. emphasizing the unprecedented nature of the rainfall. Authorities urge citizens to avoid crossing streams or rivers. Even shallow moving water can sweep away vehicles and pedestrians. Monitor official channels. Stay updated via the Alerta COE app or the National Hurricane Center.